Godzilla is now in New York City.
Monster 01 and 02, commence the attack.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Stomp This Way. Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing good. We are here to conclude our epic summer of sharks, Andrew, and we're doing it with what film?
Jaws. The Revenge.
Yes, maybe not so epic, but we'll talk about it. Yeah, but it's been a fun journey, even if most of the movies have been kind of bad.
You know,
It's been fun.
they haven't been all bad.
They weren't all bad. There was like one decent Deep Blue Sea movie and a couple of decent Jaws movies, but
You mean
Yeah.
you didn't love Deep Blue Sea 3?
maybe not my favorite. It's not the worst, but not my
No.
favorite. But yeah. So we're here with the infamous Jaws 4, officially titled Jaws: The Revenge. We've seen this movie before, right?
Ooh.
I mean, it's been a long time since I had
Yeah.
sat through it, or at least sat all the way through it. But I have seen this movie before.
Yeah.
So, but I was interested in
Sadly.
revisiting it because, it's, like I said, it's been a long time since I sat all the way through it. So, yeah,
And there might be a reason for that.
might be a reason, but we'll talk about it. You want some production trivia?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this movie really came about because Universal was in some financial trouble and they needed a hit. And even though the franchise had been steadily declining, Jaws 3, which was, panned universally by critics and audiences alike, was still a financial success. So they were like, you know what? I'll turn our troubles around. A Jaws sequel. So they wanted to rush this baby out for a summer release, summer of '87. So they completed production from start to finish. Production was completed on this movie in 9 months. 9 months. They shot it in New England, in Martha's Vineyard for, the opening scenes
Yeah.
in Amity, just like they had before. And they shot on location in the Bahamas. Early versions of the script had appearances by Hooper and Martin Brody, but both declined to appear. Said, no thanks. The writer and director both wanted to go back to a less is more approach with the shark, which is why they came up with that stupid sonar heartbeat thing that we'll talk about.
Maybe less was not more.
Less was not more. Actually, maybe they needed a whole lot less of the shark.
Yeah.
Maybe none of the shark. But did you know that this was Lorraine Gary's first film role in 8 years, and it was her final film role?
Hmm.
She retired from acting after this. Lorraine was in part attracted to the role because she wanted to be in an on-screen romance with Michael Caine. I mean, who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't?
I mean, come on.
He's Michael Caine.
She was also still, I think at this time, she was still the wife of the president of Universal, which probably had a lot to do with it. But, whatever. So, unlike the animatronic sharks of the previous films, which were operated pneumatically, meaning they pumped air through them to get them to move, this one was powered by hydraulics. So, they pumped fluid through it to get it to move. So, woohoo. Advancements? Question mark. The two fully articulated models were 25 foot and 2,500 pounds. They had two other models, one that was just the front half of the shark that they could launch out of the water or whatever, and another that was just the fin they could do for top-down shots. Just like the other films, weather conditions and issues with the sharks delayed filming. Although not by much. They still got this baby out in 9 months.
Nine months.
But had a lot of trouble with that. So this movie came out, right? And 5 days after its theatrical release, they went back and reshot the ending that they put on all the home video releases. And the cut that we have on our Blu-ray is the reshot ending. Now, we did go for research, and the extras did have the alternate ending when we watched it. But yeah, they reshot the ending after it had been out in theaters because I guess they thought the reason audiences didn't like it was the ending. But we'll talk about it. It's kind of crazy to me after watching the movie that they actually cared so much to let them go back and reshoot the ending. But whatever.
Yeah, that seems like a waste of money.
Seems like
honestly.
a big waste of money. They didn't get much money to reshoot the ending, which might be part of the problem. But
Yeah.
And then Michael Small wrote an original score for this movie, but most of it did not make it to the final cut. They just reused a lot of John Williams stuff. But anyway, Andrew, do you know that this movie was nominated and even won an award?
Really?
Yeah.
What award did it win?
The Razzies again.
Oh, wow.
Well, actually, this was nominated for one legit award, legit in quotes, the Saturn Awards, which are not, satirical like the Razzies. Lorraine Gary was nominated at the Saturn Awards for Best Actress. So take for that what you
That
will.
seems pretty good.
Well, we'll talk about it. At the Razzies, though, it got nominated for Worst Actor, The Shark. Worst Actress, Lorraine Gary. So she got a legit nomination and a Razzie nomination.
Mm-hmm.
Worst Supporting Actor and Michael Caine, which I think is unfair. Michael Caine is great. I will take no bad lip about Michael Caine. Worst Screenplay, Worst Picture, and Worst Director. Those were all nominations. And then it did win Worst Visual Effects. So
Wow.
I'm sure we'll talk about it. But Andrew, tell us what happened at the box office.
Let me see if I have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
We have a little bit.
All
A
right.
little bit.
A little
you
bit.
know, better than those Deep Blue Sea movies.
Yeah, well, they didn't come out in theaters. So.
Yeah. And this one barely did.
Yeah, well.
It would release July 17th, 1987,
Right.
with a budget of, a modest 23 mil.
Yeah, budget shrinks with every movie.
Open to 7.2 million domestically, third place behind RoboCop and a re-release of Snow White.
Oof. RoboCop. Quick aside, I just revisited RoboCop recently. That is like an all-time great movie. But anyway,
Snow White.
it's no way.
Not bad. Final domestic gross of 20.8 million.
Right.
Global gross, though, it made its money back finally
Mm-hmm.
with 51.9 million.
Mm-hmm.
Reportedly barely broke even.
Yeah, so after marketing costs and everything, they barely broke even on this movie. So was not the financial savior that Universal was hoping for, but it happens.
They didn't go broke.
They didn't go broke. They're still around. Well, anyway, do you want to listen to a trailer? Let's see how they tried to sell this thing to the public.
Yeah.
But we'll listen to the trailer. We'll come back. We'll talk about the cast and crew, the plot summary, and all about Jaws: The Revenge. See you in a bit.
Instinctively, man has always been drawn to the sea. Its beauty, its mystery, its secrets. But there is also a vague uncertainty, a sense of intrusion into an alien world, where man is unwelcome and completely at the mercy of the most terrifying predator on Earth. Man's deepest fear has risen again. Jaws: The Revenge. This time, it's personal.
Here we go. The famous tagline this time is
it's
personal. Oh, boy. Well, anyway.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, sure. We'll talk about it. This film was directed by Joseph Sargent, written by Michael Day Guzman, music by Michael Small, sort of. Mostly John Williams.
Yeah.
Starring Lorraine Gary, Lance Guest, Mario Van Peebles, Karen Young, and Michael Caine. And the plot is more or less as follows. After her youngest son, Sean, is killed in yet another shark attack, Ellen Brody travels to the Bahamas to stay with her older son, Mike, his wife, Carla, and their young daughter, Thea. Mike and his friend Jake are in the islands researching local conch shells for a scientific paper. During her stay, Ellen begins a romance with the charming local pilot, Hoagie, much to Mike's skepticism of the carefree gambler. While diving for shells, Jake encounters a massive great white shark. Realizing they've discovered something far more significant than conch shells, Mike and Jake abandon their original research to study the shark in secret, determined to keep Ellen from learning about it. Their plan falls apart when Thea narrowly escapes an attack while playing on the beach. Horrified to learn that another great white has found her family, Ellen takes Mike's research boat and heads out alone to confront it. Hoagie flies Mike and Jake out to search for Ellen, eventually spotting her with the relentless shark in pursuit. In a desperate attempt to save her, Hoagie deliberately crashes his plane into the water, distracting the shark long enough for the three men to climb aboard Ellen's boat. The shark resumes its attack, devouring Jake before closing in on the others. In a final act of defiance, Ellen drives the boat's bowsprit into the charging shark. The impact causes the giant predator to explode, and to everyone's astonishment, Jake emerges from the wreckage alive. With the ordeal finally behind them, Ellen boards Hoagie's plane, leaving the Bahamas and her fears behind as they fly off towards a new adventure together. Ooh, more or less. More or less the plot. Well, yeah, so you know that you're in for it from the title, right? Jaws, the revenge. You got a shark taking revenge. It's like, okay. But the movie starts with the classic shark POV, like all the movies. Kind of has a weird aspect ratio in the beginning. It like they just some like little black bars, on the side too. And in addition to the top of the screen and the bottom of the screen, that will go away for the rest of the movie, but whatever. And we got the Jaws theme playing and the credits rolling. And anyway, it'll pop up and
I think it's supposed to be a shark POV.
Is that shark POV? Was that what they're trying to get across?
Yeah, because it was moving across the water.
Yeah, I mean, I got that part. I mean, I still don't know what the weird aspect ratio was about.
Shark POV.
But anyway, so we're in Amity, right?
Yeah.
We are to presume, we'll learn later on that Sheriff Brody is dead. What was the dad's name? I already forgot.
Oh, it's just remembered Brody.
Daddy Brody is dead.
That sounds so weird.
He had a heart attack, but anyway, and now Sean, the younger son, by the way, they've ignoring Jaws 3. Jaws 3 didn't happen. Sean, the youngest son, has taken over as chief of police. Have I gathered that right? Or at least he's on the police force.
Deputy.
Is he deputy? Okay, he's on the police force. He works the night shift. He has to go out to clear like a log on the buoy, suck on the buoy or something. And of course, the shark is waiting for him. Did the shark set a trap for Sean? Is that what we're to get? That the shark has premeditated this so far in advance? He's set this trap. He knew if he stuck this log. Is that what that shark POV was showing us? He stuck this log on this buoy so that Sean would go out there and he could eat Sean. I don't know, but
he was a revengeful shark.
He was a vengeful shark. Yeah, so Sean goes out there, gets his arm bitten off, even though it's clear in the next shot that he's just hiding his arm under his coat. But it is what it is. And then he goes and hangs off the side of the boat, yelling for help. And then in an absolutely incomprehensibly edited sequence, he gets the boat gets eaten up and he gets dragged underwater or something. But
and then he on the log, and
he resurfaces on the log and then gets pulled back under, and the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's basically the opening of the movie. And then Mike is gonna fly in with his new family. Mike, he doesn't work at SeaWorld in this movie. He's some kind of marine biologist or something. And he's working on his PhD project or something. But he flies in to see his mother. He's got his own family now. He's got Carla, who's like his super horny wife. And he's got a little daughter named Thea, which is a terrible name, but whatever. And
wow.
And there's some boo-hoo, wah wah. And we get the great line about how it killed your father and it killed Sean. And he's like, Dad died of a heart attack. No, the fear killed him, or whatever she said. And I'll say this from the start. First of all, Lorraine Gary's top billed. I don't really think she's the star of this movie. I think if anyone's the star of this movie, it's Lance Guest playing Mike. He's, I think, got more screen time than any of the characters.
Him and Jake.
And Jake. We'll talk about Jake.
From State Farm?
No, different Jake. But I don't think any of the performances in this movie are especially bad.
No.
I mean, Jake is doing a weird Jamaican thing, but whatever. I think all these actors are playing it as earnestly as they can.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Lorraine Gary, she signed on to this movie because, well, what she says is they paid her a good amount of money is why she signed on. And she was wife of the president of Universal who needed a hit at the time. But she says she was interested in the project because it was about other than kissing Michael Caine, it was about a family, a struggling family, grieving family, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're all playing it earnestly. And I think Lorraine Gary is trying really hard to play this troubled, PTSD-stricken wife about, her family being taken from her. But she's saddled with some really bad dialogue about a vengeful shark. And it's like, oh, man. It is what it is. But anyway, so they're to cheer Mom up, they're gonna fly her. He's doing his research project in the Bahamas,
and there's no great whites in the Bahamas.
There's no great whites in warm waters, and so they're gonna fly Mom out to the Bahamas, and she's still terrified of the water and doesn't like Thea playing in the water, but she's gonna get distracted from Thea pretty soon because Ellen's gonna meet Michael Caine.
Oh, yeah.
Playing a guy named Hoagie. I said he was a local. I guess he's not really a local. He's just a pilot that flies around. But he's kind of this charming, charismatic pilot dude.
Yeah.
And, she and him start flirting, and he starts, he's a lot like his character of Alfred. He's telling these wild stories. Remember Alfred told that wild story in one of the Batman movies about an opal that he went into the jungles to get, and it really made no sense in that movie. But he's going to tell a lot of those kind of stories in this movie to Ellen. But I like Michael Caine in this movie. I mean, is it a bad movie? Yes. But I think Michael Caine is entertaining in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that interview with him. I don't know if it's on, I don't remember what talk show it was on, but obviously much later after this movie was made, where he talked about, he's like, I made a dreadful film called Jaws 4, I believe. Never seen it, but or he says something, I don't remember how he says it, but it's like someone asked, what'd you think of Jaws 4? He's like, well, I never saw it, but I did see the house that bought my mother, and it's beautiful. So, it is what it is. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, I think one of this movie's issues is, the shark probably has as much or more screen time as it did in, the original Jaws movie, but the scenes in between the shark attacks
are
boring.
Dreadful.
Yeah, there's romance between Ellen and Hoagie. I don't care. There's some really awkward scenes between Mike and his wife, and they're always horny. And
like they're fighting, and then they're like, "Why are we fighting?" And then laugh.
Yeah, and there's all the scenes about where Ellen is, she's sad and walking around, and then when she starts hanging out with Hoagie, then Mike is like, doesn't like his mom hanging out with Hoagie, jealous of his Hoagie, or, doesn't like Hoagie for whatever reason. So he's like stalking him for a little while. And then there's some really awkward conversations where a couple times where like Carla is just like nonchalantly talking about her sex life with Mike to Ellen about Ellen's son. It's kind of like weird.
It's like, what are you talking about?
It's like, that's a little weird. Okay, whatever.
What are you talking about there, bro?
And so, whatever. But I will say another pretty charismatic character in this movie is Jake, and the real romance in this movie is between Jake and Mike, but whatever. But
Yeah.
but
Jake,
no,
Jake and Mike.
Jake is Jamaican,
Yeah.
and he's got the Jamaican thing going on, and he's like him and Mike are working on a research paper on conch shells in the Bahamas or something.
Sea slugs, I think.
Well, the sea slugs that are in the conch shells.
Yeah.
Whatever. And
Their migration patterns and how they live and whatever.
Whatever. Yeah. Jake is like the techie guy. He deals with all the electronics and stuff. And I guess Mike is more like the hands-on guy. He goes and collects the shells and does the biology stuff.
Biology,
But,
he's better at the hands-on stuff.
yeah.
Than
At some point, they have a submersible, and Jake is down in, there's a couple of scenes. They're pretty great where Ellen, she has like a shark sense.
Yeah.
And
she has like a spidey sense for sharks.
I think it happens at the beginning of the movie when Mike gets attacked, or when Sean gets attacked, where she just like freezes and has like a flash of the shark or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it happens again when Jake goes down, the shark swims right by him in the submersible, ignores him, and of course goes right for Mike on the dock.
Yeah.
And Ellen is out dancing with Michael Caine or whatever, and she freezes and has like her little shark vision or whatever.
She looks away and she's like,
she has a
like
couple
that
of
face,
couple of dream sequences about the shark, but yeah, whatever. She's force sensitive, but only for the shark. But
yeah.
Okay, whatever. And
she's like, I know where you are.
and anyway, so this shark is, they have that encounter on the dock, but then after that encounter, Jake and Mike are like, well, conch shells are boring. Let's track the shark.
Well, that's not Jake. That was more Jake than
Well,
Mike.
it is more Jake than Mike. Mike wants to continue the paper.
He
on
wants
the
to
shells.
get his PhD.
Yeah, and Jake's like, well, screw the conch shells. I want to follow this shark because sharks don't come down to the Bahamas.
You done passed up this once in a lifetime opportunity,
Right? And anyway, they're gonna go down, and one day they're collecting more shells, and the shark gets after Mike and chases him through a wrecked ship and all this, and then at some point Jake tags the shark with his little heartbeat monitor thing.
That was when they had the other two crew members they had.
Yeah.
And they hung them off the side of the boat.
Oh, yeah. That's right. And they get the shark tagged, but they're not telling Ellen because, obviously she's still got PTSD and she'll freak out.
And she's having a good time.
She's having a good time with Hoagie and all this. And there's a scene in a casino where they're all hanging out and Hoagie's got like a major gambling problem.
Yeah.
And,
Let it ride.
it's all fun. And then Mike gets jealous that Hoagie's dancing with his mom and all this. And then at one point towards I guess we're about an hour in when Carla is an artist, right? So while...
Yes. Abstract artist.
Abstract artist. So while Mike is working on his research project, she's being commissioned by the Bahamas to make this like big metal art thing, sculpture, statue, whatever, for the beach. And so she's working on it, and then they're having like a ceremony unveiling her sculpture on the beach or whatever. And Thea is playing in the water with some friends on this little inflatable thing. And Ellen's there, and of course Mike and Jake are too busy working, chasing the shark around or whatever. And the shark, like as soon as Thea gets in the water, it can smell a Brody from miles. And it goes right after Thea, and it misses. I think we're supposed to get the impression that it launched at Thea and it just missed her.
Yeah.
Because the thing was being towed by a boat and got the woman behind her. And honestly, there's not a lot of deaths in this movie. Two people die. The Sean and then this chick on the inflatable. Is that it? Depending on what cut of the ending you watch.
Yeah.
I think that's really all the people that die in this movie. But, you know, it is what it is. And yeah, then Ellen is going to get that look on her face. They pull Thea out of the water. And she got that look on her face that we made fun of, the John Wick look, like I'm going to kill this shark.
Yeah.
And she just goes and takes Mike's boat
Yeah.
and goes after the shark. I don't know what her intentions were, but whatever. And then Mike goes and flags down Jake, and they get in a plane with Hoagie. And
Well, they get on the little boat first, and they pass Hoagie.
right. That's right. So much of the dialogue in this movie, they're trying to shout over boat motors and
Yeah.
plane motors.
It's like, it sounds like, you know, when you had the headset on
Yeah.
in the plane.
Yeah.
It's-
That's what they tried to do with like the ADR. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, they would never be able to hear each other over any of these sounds, but whatever.
Maybe the boat motor.
Maybe the boat motor, depending on how big it was, but whatever. But anyway, they go up in Hoagie's plane, and then Hoagie, he doesn't have a seaplane. It's just a little, you know, normal single engine plane. And when they see the shark chasing Ellen's boat, he's like, just crash lands his plane in the water. And of course, it starts to sink, and then the shark gets after him. But they all three are able to swim to the boat safely. And then, yeah, the ending gets real wonky. So they've got the sonar thing on its heart. There's a whole lot of like, oh, the shark's close because its heartbeat on the sonar thing, and then oh, the shark went away, and then oh, the shark's back. But they're gonna Jake rigs up this thing that's supposed to like send electrical signals that's supposed to bother the shark or
Yeah.
something.
If
But
Jake's
anyway.
make it, it's gonna work.
But Jake crawls out on I guess it's called a bowsprit, that like pointy pole on the end of
Yeah.
the boat or whatever, to like put the device in the shark or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when he does it, he like falls into the shark's mouth. And then Mike goes and gets the
other one.
other one from below deck.
So, you know, he can connect
And
them, I
starts like sending the signal to the shark or whatever, and the
Yeah.
shark's launching itself out of the water, roaring like King Kong.
guess. With sharks.
And then so this is where it gets really wonky. So in the cut on the Blu-ray, which is the one that they put on all the physical media after the movie ended its theatrical run,
Yeah.
it's like they're doing the thing with the electromagnetic thing, and then just all of a sudden, really harsh cut.
Boom.
What I think we're supposed to believe happens is Ellen rams the shark with the bowsprit, the broken end of it, and then the shark just explodes for no real reason.
Yeah.
And then Mike is still alive. He floats up to the surface, and
You mean Jake?
Jake, and then Mike swims out and retrieves him.
Yeah.
And they're all happy. And then we get the final scene where they're like on the little airstrip, and Ellen's getting on the plane with Hoagie, and she says her goodbye to Mike, and the movie's over or whatever. But what was originally released in theaters, we went and watched the alternate ending, is it's really close. It's just like a 30 seconds of difference or something, right?
Yeah.
But you see in the original ending, it looks a little better. You see the bowsprit like pierce the shark, and it wriggles around, and then it like breaks off and just kind of sinks into the water dead.
Yeah.
But Jake doesn't live. He's still dead.
He's still dead.
So I guess I really baffles me that they bothered to reshoot it, because the movie's bad from start to finish. It's
Yeah.
not like the ending ruined the movie or anything.
No.
But I guess Universal thought if they fixed the ending, people would buy it on VHS or something. I don't know. But the ending, they didn't have enough money or coverage for the reshoot of the ending.
No.
So it looks terrible. The editing's incomprehensible.
They should have just used what.
I don't think that Jake was such a beloved character that it's like Jake can't die.
I don't know why they didn't just leave the original ending and just put the Jake thing in at the end.
Yeah, just have Jake float out of its mouth or something. I mean, you didn't need to do the shark exploding for no reason to
Yeah.
save Jake. Yeah, it makes absolutely
And,
no
If
sense.
the shark exploded, Jake would have been dead anyways.
Yeah, right. If the shark exploded, I mean, Jake should be dead. I mean,
I
sharks
think
don't just.
what we believed the thing we were supposed to believe is the
Yeah.
shark spit him out before.
Before it went
But
kaboom?
yeah. Cause,
Okay.
'cause he had bite marks on him.
Okay. Because I was going to say, Jake should be dead either way. If that shark chomped down on him, he'd be dead. But whatever. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But whatever. Then the movie's over. It's only 90 minutes.
But it feels so much longer.
Yeah, I mean, that's 35 minutes shorter than the original, half an hour shorter than part 2. And I don't know, I remember what part 3 was, an hour 40, 45, something like that. But it feels like the longest one because, yeah, the scenes between the shark stuff are just mostly pretty dreadful. And yeah, it's a rough movie. It's not good. I mean, there were some scenes that were so bad. I mean, so in the novelization of the movie, which was based on an earlier draft of the script, the novel pushes the idea that there's some voodoo at work. Like there's like a voodoo curse on the shark to hunt the family or something. And then they decided in the final draft of the script that was too silly. So they cut it out. But I'm like, no, you need to camp this baby up more. Bring the voodoo.
Bring the voodoo.
And I think the director has said as much, that the director and writer's intent was for it to kind of be ambiguous as to whether the shark was actually out for revenge or if Ellen Brody was projecting her fears onto the shark. But the movie plays it
Like it's after.
like it's at Hour of Revenge. It goes right for Sean in that scene where it just skips Jake and goes right towards the dock at Mike.
Yeah.
The fact that it swims out to the Bahamas
Yeah.
and warm waters to chase after this family. I mean, it's hard to just buy that, oh, this is all random happenstance with a random shark and Ellen's just projecting her fears onto it. It
Yeah.
seems like the shark is out for revenge. But it never explains why. Like, is this the shark's mate? Is this the shark's offspring? Why
It's
is this shark out for revenge?
best friend?
Yeah, why is this shark out for revenge against a dead shark from however many years ago, 12 years ago or whatever it would be at this point?
Oh, was it the previous shark's friend?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they should have drawn a parallel. Like Mike and Jake seem to be like really close friends. Maybe this shark maybe they should have had a parallel there, a through line where this shark was really close friends with
Yeah.
with Bruce from the first movie.
Bruce.
But whatever.
Sharks do live a decent amount, a decent life.
Yeah, I mean, big sharks I think live for a few decades, but
Mhm.
how long? I should have googled it. I wonder how long it would take a shark to swim from New England down to the Bahamas. I mean, I would think it would take a while. You want to Google it? Let's see what AI says. How long would it take a shark to swim from New England to the Bahamas?
I mean, they swim pretty fast.
3 to 7 weeks. Did we get the impression that minimum 3 weeks passed from the time they flew from New England to the Bahamas that the shark showed up? It felt like just a couple days, but okay, whatever.
You know, they had to have that. They probably was a week or two.
Okay. Well, anyway. You want to get to some creature design?
Sure.
All right. Well, I'll just be straightforward. This is the worst the shark has ever looked. I mean, 3 didn't look
Yeah.
great, but this, I don't know if it's the fact that it's a hydraulic shark this time. The articulation just wasn't there, right?
Mhm.
And in the water, like you pointed it out, and I noticed it too. Like when they had like the wide angle shots of the shark in the water, it looked very unstable, like it was wobbling a lot.
Yeah.
And it was a very, like I said, non-articulate shark that didn't, like, the fin didn't really move. It never really moved its head that much.
It barely opened the jaw.
Barely opened its mouth. They had to do a lot of weird editing in the action sequences. And then they had this shark that they, like I said, this top half shark that they launch out of the water a lot. and it looks so cheesy because it literally looks like it's just something on a hydraulic lift just being lifted out of the water and just kind of floating there. And it looks so bad. And they do it a lot towards the end of the movie. So it looks so unnatural. So yeah, the shark looks bad. And they don't really ever cut it with any footage of real shark or anything. Yeah, it's a bad fake shark. It's not good. It's no bueno.
No bueno.
So going into effects, I mean, the shark looks bad. The editing with the blood and stuff looks bad. They had considered doing a miniature shark and like doing some stop motion and stuff, but they abandoned it in pre-production, which I don't know if it would have.
I don't know if it would
helped or not. A stop motion shark in 1987 probably would have been just as cheesy as anything else, but
yeah,
whatever. Now I will say again, the budgets are shrinking. I mean, we went from, a $30 million movie in part 2. Now we're, whatever we are 5 years later, and we're only doing this on $23 million. They needed more money. But they do film a lot of this movie still out on the open sea, on location in the Bahamas, in New England. So there is a little bit of an authentic, when the fake shark's not on screen, there is a bit of an authentic feel to the fact that they're on this boat, really out in the water and all this. Now, they did do a fair amount of reshoots in a tank on the Universal backlot, and you can kind of tell the scenes where they're not in real water, or especially like in the reshot ending where the sky behind them is painted on to the stage walls or whatever. But whatever. And some of the green screen or some of the like rear projection when they're in Hoagie's plane and the rear projection of like the scenery going by outside kind of bothered me, because at times it looked like they were basically flying at sea level, but then they would cut outside the plane and they were pretty high up in the air. I was like, oh, whatever. But, it is what it is. But, and then score. I mean, there's a little bit of new score in here by Michael Small. And it's fine. It's whatever.
Okay.
But most of it, especially when you get into the big climactic ending, is just repeating John Williams' score from the beginning of the movie, from the original movie. And, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It deserves to be in a better movie, but okay. But anyway, you ready for some final thoughts?
Yeah.
Why don't you go for it?
All right, like we said, this movie, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
It's on the struggle bus.
It's on the struggle bus.
Is it the worst one we've seen of the Jaws? Probably.
Yes.
It didn't have Dennis Quaid in it.
No Dennis Quaid.
No. It's no savior.
No savior. Well, I had Michael Caine. Now, hold on.
Caine. Okay, Michael Caine. Where's Michael Caine in?
Yeah.
He was the only good part about this movie.
Probably.
He is great. And, I think that they do try to act their parts in this, but they're given such terrible dialogue to say most of the time. So it's like, what are you even trying to do, bro?
Yeah. I think it makes it worse that they are trying. I think if they would have known, Michael Caine feels like he kind of knows what kind of movie he's in.
Yeah.
Everybody else feels like they kind of think they're in a drama, like a real drama. And it's like, no.
No.
Try again.
All the effects are
not great.
Not great. The shark is just like goofy looking. He's like when he's in the water, when they have him trying to swim, he's just flopping from side to side.
It just looks like a rubber shark that's just kind of wobbling.
He's just like going side to side.
They fed Bruce a little too much alcohol before the shoot.
They gave him. He's heavily sedated. But all in all, and the score is it's good. It's a Jaws score.
Yeah,
I can't complain.
You can't complain about John Williams.
No. Or Michael Small stuff.
Right.
Score is still good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a D.
Yeah, listen, I mean, it's a bad movie. Everybody knows it's a bad movie. I think where they went wrong is, like I said, I think they play it way too serious. They should have just camped this up. I mean, I think the third movie did a better job of being campy, at least in moments, right? This movie, I think buried in all the drafts of this movie,
Yeah.
there's a seedling of a real movie about the trauma of losing your family, right?
Mhm.
And Ellen's struggling with the fact that she's lost her husband and she's lost her son to the sea. And how does she cope with that? And if you had a really skilled writer, maybe you could make another shark movie with her, processing that trauma through, encountering another shark or something. Not a shark that's out for revenge, just another shark.
Yeah.
But they don't have that skill here. And all that potentially serious drama is buried under this stupid idea that there's a shark out for revenge.
Yeah.
And they have to fight it in the Bahamas. I think that Lorraine Gary is really trying to play a battered, beaten, traumatized woman.
Yeah.
And I think that Lance Guest, was that his name, is trying to play this movie really straight as well. And like I said, I don't think anybody in here is a terrible actor.
No.
Except for maybe Veebles, or what was his name?
Which guy?
Matt Van Peebles, or whatever his name is. Mario Van Peebles. And Michael Caine, and like I said, I think Michael Caine, and maybe Mario Van Peebles too, know what kind of movie they're in. They're kind of hamming it up.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, I think they just play the movie too straight. I mean, if you're going to be on Jaws 4 and you have the same family encountering another great white for
And
the
they
fourth
call it The
time,
Revenge.
I guess canonically only the third time, but
Mhm.
you're going to call it Jaws the Revenge, you got to camp it up. I mean, you got to just hit the camp button and let it ride, right? And the shark looks terrible. The pacing is terrible. All the scenes between the shark attack scenes are slow and boring and want to make me go to sleep.
Yeah.
And the shark scenes are not that exciting because
No.
the shark looks like a floating rubber shark. And so, yeah, it's not a good movie. I laughed a couple of times. There's a few lines so ridiculous that it is funny. It's not as dreadfully boring as Deep Blue Sea 2
No.
by any stretch. Deep Blue Sea 2, I think, is easily the worst movie in our Shark Summer. But I'm with you. This is a D movie. It's not good. And if I'm ranking the Jaws movies, I think it would be in order 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think I'd rather watch Deep Blue Sea 3.
Yeah, I think if I ranked all 7 of our shark movies,
Mm-hmm.
Jaws,
Jaws 2.
Jaws, probably Jaws 2, then Deep Blue Sea, then Jaws 3,
Mm-hmm.
then Deep Blue Sea 3, then Jaws the Revenge, then Deep Blue Sea 2.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would do. So, anyway. News?
What do we have for news?
Not much. G-Fest. We're going to G-Fest next
Oh,
week. We will be
yeah.
off next week. We got a bye week next week.
A bye week.
And so, we'll catch you in a couple of weeks. But G-Fest did release a schedule. So if you're going, yeah, it's out there. Check out all the panels and screenings and whatever else you want to go to. That'll be a lot of fun. But I did see, I'm a big college football fan. So I did see where the Oregon Ducks, I guess I don't know if they took their team over to Japan for a field trip or just as a promotional thing, but they did a little promotional thing with the Oregon Duck, who is like the most famous college football mascot, if you don't know.
Yeah.
And he did a thing with Godzilla. I don't really know what the promotion even for. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but he does a thing with Godzilla, and they have like a giant blow up duck next to the Godzilla in the Shibuya hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
Where that giant Godzilla is. And then there's something about their quarterback, Dante Moore, coming back or something.
And it's like
And they got the
more.
Godzilla theme. And
there's more.
yeah, there's more. Dante Moore, get it?
Mhm.
I don't know if they're trying to say Dante Moore is like the Godzilla college. I didn't really get the point of it, but anyway, it was kind of fun. But anyway. Yeah, so but other than that, Monsters and Minions, kind of a kaiju movie, I
Yeah,
guess. It's
know?
out this week. We haven't seen it yet, but it's getting really good reviews. They say it's the best Minions movie yet. So
Hey, that's
we might try to catch that at the Diane AMC there on the strip while we're in Rosemont.
Yeah.
If we get bored. But yeah, other than that, I think that's all I got for you. Coming up on the schedule after we return from G-Fest, we will be doing the Thing trilogy.
Ooh.
I say trilogy, I mean that loosely.
Mhm.
And then we'll be doing some crocodile movies. I've got the Water Horse. We'll be doing that film. And Bats, got that coming up. Not really a kaiju movie, but, you know, we've been doing creature features. Why not just go all in, I guess. And some fun stuff like that. And then come November, of course, Godzilla Minus Zero will be coming to the big screen. But other than that, Andrew, do you got anything else for the audience?
I think that's all.
All right. Well, don't forget that you can always contact us at StomThisWay1954@gmail.com.
You can find our website at www.stomthisway.wordpress.com.
That's right. And you can find us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and X, all at Stomp This Way. And again, off next week and then coming back for the Thing franchise. So catch up on the Thing movies and listen to our reviews. But as always, I'm Aaron.
I'm Andrew.
And we'll see you next time.